It's Wednesday, September 28th. There's a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. It's about 2 days away from us. We're getting probably 20, 25 mile an hour gusts right now. Got a bunch of extra lines going out to these pilings. Took the bimini down. Doubled up the dock lines. So I'm just driving back to the marina and I am going to find a parking spot in the garage, which would be nice because the hotel's going to be evacuated, so there shouldn't be any problems finding a parking spot. You guys are really working. Good for you. So here's our turn to the hotel. Here's one of a really low, small price. Usually floods. So we'll walk here. So this is where we're staying, Homewood Suites. Right, Hilton, parking right underneath. We're going to park there. $25 I think. So the hotel's evacuating. We should be parking here. Give us our time. That's the plan. We'll see how that works out. I'll see that way sign, so I guess that means it's okay. The water's about up to the plank here. And the gangplank goes up about 4 foot, just suspended. Tide's high right now. It's going down. I think we got about 3 or 4 foot before we hit the hurricane. Those poles right there have 2 big rods going through them to keep the docks from floating off. So that's about 4 foot. It could go up still, and 4 foot would be not to the door, I don't think. Might be to the top of the seawall here. So this is inside the lounge. TV's on the weather station. Well, we made it through the night. It's low tide right now. Making coffee. It's low tide right now, and we should see mud, but we don't. The water is high, like it's high tide. The dock is really high, but it's supposed to be low tide. All the water's getting pushed up into the river. All right, I don't know if you can hear me, but we'll give it a try. So I got the GoPro. Left my phone inside. So what we got here, so I don't drop this. Oh, the battery's going dead. When I tied off over there, I was on my dinghy standing probably 7, 8 foot to get the lines over that. And that's almost done. We got about maybe 4 foot there. The problem is these pilings, these are called hurricane spikes. So this dock can only come up as high as here. And when the dock gets to here, that's all you got. So here's Cat Dog. Last night they broke loose. They had 4 cleats rip out. That's Amy from Cat Dog. So we got up last night, tied some of these lines, but look. 1, 2, 3. That's what they had holding this boat. And they just tore right off. Here's one that's still there, but we took the lines off it. Look how close it's mounted to the edge of that board. Instead of mounting it over here into the dock. So we got a bunch of lines for him tied off on these pilings. Show you one more thing. The gangplank to get off this floating dock and to get into the marina. Take a look here. This is
floating. So that's the little breezeway. It's about 2 foot underwater. Here's our dinghy. My battery's gonna go dead any minute. Pump's working on the dinghy. This sailboat here had a high water alarm. The girl said the float switch didn't work, but she left it anyways, and she bolted it with a lock. So we got a bolt cutters, cut the lock off, went in and manually turned on the switch because her bilge was filling with water. So it's blowing pretty good. There's Freedom. Their boat's doing good. That's one of Elon Musk's Starlink. I guess they told everybody to take them down because they're not supposed to handle that kind of wind. I think we're getting around 60-mile-an-hour gusts. So we stuck this little thing under here to take the pressure off the over here, because this acts like a fulcrum, right? And if that, there's like 2 bolts holding that whole thing on. If that comes loose, we'll have to take a dinghy to get across.